Hey everyone, I am back with another installment of my book writing journey. And I'm a little bit baffled that it's been almost a month. It was March 17th when I last did a video, and today's April 13th. I'm a little bit baffled at how much time has gone by because, in some senses, it feels like nothing has happened. And in some other ways, it's so much has happened. And it's a great reminder to me, and maybe to all of you out there, that the process of writing a book is not about necessarily the words on paper. So while I have only gotten a few thousand words drafted, and they're still very far away from finished on my book in the last month, so many other things have happened. I have taken a stab at what the book cover, like the summary on the book cover would be, and recognize what I still don't know yet, which is great information. I did write a preface and bring out some stories, and I've been talking about some of those stories with my clients and talking about a concept with them that is really resonating, and I'm refining it the more I talk about it and getting their stories that I can perhaps weave into the book at some point. I've written about the non-essentials. So if you tuned in the last video, talked about this concept of the 10 essentials. So when you go into the backcountry on a hike, you bring these 10 essentials for survival: food, water, shelter, fire or light, all these things. Well, I thought about, what if there are 10 essentials for these adventures that people go on? It's not about survival. I hate the word thrival, but that's the best one I've got right now. And so I know what my 10 essentials are loosely. And I thought, well, what are some things that people think are essential but aren't? And so I took a whole stab at a piece on these non essentials, which was really fun because they are definitely things that most people out there are waiting to have before they move forward on anything they're creating in the world. But taking the stab at the writing wasn't as fruitful as what I've been really ping-ponging about. I've known for a while, and I can't remember if I mentioned this in the last video, but I've been very certain for quite a while that this book is not about how to build a business. That said, you can build a business with this book, write a book with this book. At the same time, when I start thinking about, okay, are there any areas where this doesn't apply, right? So, do the 10 essentials work for any goal pursuit, career, personal goals, running a marathon, learning how to play guitar, whatever? The answer is yes, it does apply. They do apply. But the tricky thing is when you speak to everyone, and everybody on the planet has goals, you speak to nobody. And so as I started writing these non-essentials, as I started writing my preface, I kept getting tripped up with trying to fill the gamut of examples and stories to really apply to everyone. And I realized, A, I didn't want to talk to everybody, and B, it's not really fruitful to talk to everyone. And it meant some of my content that's really important was actually getting left out, stuff that is more specific. So I kept ping ponging between, well, maybe I should go back to writing a business book, or maybe I should just get better at talking to everybody. Neither of those are a viable solution. And so what I have landed on is looking at, well, what are some of the commonalities among the clients I work with? Now, if you look at my website, it's all about mission driven businesses, right? And I work with people in content creation businesses. I've worked with people in financial services, in coaching. Um, I work with people in startups. I work with people working on children's books. Um, and I work with some people in the corporate world. So these aren't necessarily them running mission driven businesses, but some of them are in pretty big mission driven corporations. So I started to look at, well, okay, I say I work with mission driven businesses, but who do I really work with? And it boils down to more psychographics than demographics. And it's high achievers who have run the rat race. They've spent their life proving themselves and achieving and overachieving. And now they're doing something different. Now, that doesn't mean they're all running businesses, but they're all creating something in the world. And the best word I have for that is entrepreneurial, not entrepreneurship, right? You don't have to be running a business, but they're all creating something that hasn't existed in the world, whether it's content for a book or social media, whether it's um, creating an app or creating a service or a business, right? And so that's where I'm narrowing this scope, is that people are creating something in the world. And oftentimes they're creating it because they want to do something good for others in service of others. So it's about, how do you do that? How do you do that and have the biggest adventure of your life? How do you unwind those years of overachievement and attachment to your success and fear of failure and feeling the pressure to a place of, I wonder what's possible. I wonder what I can create. I wonder what I want to create. And how do you learn to navigate the uncertainty, the being lost in the wilderness, the highs and lows, the failures and successes? And so my guidebook's going to be all about that. And that feels super good. So I'll say, here are my next steps. I'm going to start writing. And one of my challenges that I recognized is that I need to start speaking in very, very detailed language about what's going in the book. Because if I keep at these high level pieces of content, the people who are helping me, like my book coach and my mastermind, don't have all the information they need to help me. So I am creating an annotated table of contents, which is basically a brain dump of every chapter, every piece of content, every concept I can think of, every story that I might put in. So we can start to see all these pieces in detail together and see where they need to fit together and if the current structure is really the right one. And the next piece is that I'm going to start writing some of the 10 essentials, and really not because I need to get them out on paper, but because my voice, my tone is really, really important to me. If I'm going to be speaking to all of you out there who have decided to stop proving yourself and go on this other path, and I'm saying that this is about fun and curiosity and adventure, the book can't be boring. I can't be serious. I don't want to be serious. And so I want to bring out the goofball in me, the side of me that's really, really funny and witty. Certainly there will be some serious content, but I have a new side of me that is just itching to come out, and I don't know how to do it yet. I'm a former academic who has made some strides, but I'm not there yet. And so that's my next adventure, is iterating and iterating until I get to a place where I'm like, that's the voice. That's my voice. That's my authentic voice. And that's the voice that resonates for what I am trying to teach and communicate in the book. So I'm really looking forward to having some pieces soon that I can share with the world. But I'm not there quite yet, and that's okay. So I'm going to keep writing. I'm going to keep iterating. I'm going to keep applying my 10 essentials to my book writing process. And I really, really look forward to sharing more with you all soon. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back here a couple weeks, no more than a month, with my next update. Bye, y'all.